Good morning, my Real News Media TV family. Thank you so much for tuning in this morning, and I'm wishing for everyone a wonderful and a productive day. And in the news this morning for January 11, 2024, police say attempted robbery behind the Old Harbor Road shooting. The police have theorized that attempted robbery was the motive behind Wednesday's early morning shooting on Old Hope Road, which resulted in a traffic pileup in the area. In a release on Wednesday afternoon, the police's corporate communications unit revealed that police responded to the scene at approximately 3:16 a.m. to find one man suffering from gunshot wounds in the vicinity of Jamaica House. Police say they were alerted to loud explosions in the area in what they believe was an interruption of a robbery in progress. The victim found on the scene of the crime was reportedly assisted to the hospital by the police in a private vehicle. The other, who reportedly fled the scene during the shooting, was found shortly after and also received emergency medical care. The incident caused a section of Hope Road in Kingston, stretching from the police officers' club to King's House, to be declared impassable. According to the police, at 4:11 a.m., contacts were made with investigators at the Independent Commission of Investigations, who were also required to process the scene on account of the police responding to the robbery. Indicom commenced their independent investigation at the scene at 6:13 a.m. The JCF says it is rigorously pursuing all leads and have already secured CCTV footage that may be pivotal to the investigation. Montego Bay businessman freed of cocaine charges. A Montego Bay businessman was on Wednesday freed of drug charges when he appeared before the St. Anne Parish Court. He is Carl Reed. The charges stemmed from the seizure of a quantity of cocaine, which was reportedly found in a vehicle Reed was driving on the highway in St. Anne in July 2020. Allegations were that, based on an unidentified source, the police stopped and searched a motor truck driven by Reed. During the search, 40 pounds of cocaine was reportedly discovered under the rear floor cabin of the motor vehicle. After the discovery, Reed, who was represented by attorneys Peter Champagny Casey and Richard Lynch, was taken into custody and the drugs processed and taken to Kingston. The businessman was charged with possession, dealing, and trafficking cocaine. During the questioning of the main witness by Champagny, it was discovered that the chain of custody of the drugs in question was severely compromised, as there were contradictions in the labeling and the sealing of them. The parish judge ruled that based on the compromise of the exhibits, there was doubt as to whether she could believe the police witnesses as to what took place on the day in question. The businessman was eventually freed. Detective admits no physical evidence linking Barnes to murder. The lead detective in the murder trial of Everton Beach Stout MacDonald and Oscar Barnes on Wednesday admitted under cross-examination that he had no physical evidence linking Barnes to the murder of MacDonald's second wife, Tonya. He made the admission as Vincent Wellesley, one of the lawyers representing Barnes, asked why he continued to use a witness, Denverlyn Bobler Minot, after he had lied in 2 statements to the police. Minot ended up giving a 3rd statement to detectives about how the July 20, 2020 murder of Tonya MacDonald in Portland unfolded. Tonya was the second wife of Beachy Stout, who is accused of ordering her murder. According to Minot, who is serving a 19-year and a 10-month prison sentence for being the contractor in Tonya's murder, MacDonald had contracted him for $3 million to kill Tonya, and he in turn subcontracted the hit to Barnes, who he claimed stabbed Tonya repeatedly and cut her throat. According to the detective sergeant in court on Wednesday, after he read through the statements from Minot, he observed that Minot had given 3 different accounts of the incident. Despite this, the detective sergeant said he was not of the assumption that Minot was somebody who I couldn't believe. I did not have cause to suspect he was a liar. I consider myself an honest person. I did not make any judgment as to whether or not he was truthful or telling a lie. Minot's statement had led to the arrest of Barnes, who Minot had pointed out to the cops in August 2020 during what the detective sergeant described as a drive-through session. The policeman admitted that even without any concrete evidence linking Barnes to the crime, he was still arrested, charged, and placed on trial. He said it was his decision to take Barnes into custody. Based on what transpired, he was a person of interest in the investigation, he said. He admitted that apart from Minot's statement, which implicated Barnes, and the fact that Minot pointed him out, he had no other evidence against Barnes. Leslie accused the cop of being dishonest, prompting presiding Judge Chester Stamp to encourage the attorney to cross-examine the witness and not accuse him of anything. Leslie probed to find out why he arrested Barnes without Minot describing him in any statement or mentioning his name. The detective told the 7-member jury that there was no description given in the statement, but I arrested him in relation to information in a particular statement. The police went to the home of Mr. Barnes, but I don't recall us taking away any clothes or anything else. I didn't receive any items from my colleagues. As a chief investigator, I collected no knife or anything else connecting Barnes to the crime. The cop said that on August 5, 2020, during the drive-thru, Minot pointed out Barnes, saying, "See him there, sit down in the chair." I did not know Mr. Barnes until that moment. He further told the court that a cell phone was taken from Barnes and was processed, but nothing was found on it that connects Barnes to the murder. 2 men robbed on compound of Portmore Municipal Corporation. The St. Catharines South Police are probing an incident in which armed robbers invaded the compound of the Portmore Municipal Corporation and stole approximately $800,000 from 2 men who went to conduct business. The news was informed that one of the victims, a visitor to the island, went to the municipal corporation to pay for a permit for an event for his late wife. The man was reportedly robbed of more than $700,000 in cash. The other victim was robbed of $100,000. The news was informed that the mayor of Portmore, Leon Thomas, was not on the compound at the time of the robbery. The victims were not harmed. Residents want communal skips removed from their gates as the passers-by dump garbage indiscriminately. Some residents in Christiana, Manchester and in surrounding areas are calling for the removal or relocation of communal garbage skips to reduce the likelihood of them overflowing and being an eyesore at the entrance of their communities. The communal garbage skips located along the main road leading to the Manchester northeastern town of Christiana have become points of garbage disposal for people traveling from as far away as Trelawney and St. Anne. I want them to move it from there. If it was just people from the community using it, it would be all right. You have people from Trelawney, Spalding, St. Anna all over. Carry garbage come through here. A resident of Shudley, who asked not to be named, told the news on Wednesday. An upset resident of Brockery, who also asked not to be named, said little laws need to be enforced to deal with the people who dump garbage around the skips. Put down with foot. That means as you see a man drop a paper, you prosecute him. If him can't pay the money, you give him 6 months in prison. They put in little law, but it is not being enforced, said the resident. His neighbors are also concerned that the communal skips are breeding sites for rodents and attract stray dogs. Rat infestation is one of the major things, and then we have an insane person who helps to dismantle the garbage when it's there. People come from all parts, come throw garbage in the skip. You have people with supermarkets who dispose of rotten stuff here. If people have a dead dog, this is where they come with it, one resident charged. People even from all over come to throw in it. It hurts the business people in the community too, because of the stench, added the resident. It hurts the business people in the community too because of the stench, added the resident. In the meantime, acting regional manager for Southern Parks and Markets, Sheldon Smith, while admitting that there are challenges in the timely removal of solid waste from some areas, agreed that the communal skips are problematic. The garbage tripled during the festive season, and that created a backlog on our side, but the communal bins, those collection points that they put along the roadway, they have exacerbated the problem strongly, because if people were keeping them at their gate in a drum, we would reach them much better. We would be going into communities, said Smith. SPM, which is a subsidiary of the National Solid Waste Management Authority, is responsible for garbage collection in Clarendon, Manchester and St. Elizabeth. Smith said although the skips are cleaned twice daily at times, it is refilled within a short space of time. We are going along the highway to be cleaning these things sometimes twice for the day. If we are moving forward and we say we want to move into a developed country and so on, it doesn't help. That causes more problems than anything else, added Smith.